everybody. I am running a few minutes late because for some reason my internet kicked me off and it took me a minute to get back on, but I am back. And so I will just wait a few minutes to see if anybody joins me. But it is Monday Night Mindfulness, and I am your host, Tanika Scenes. And it has been a long, beautiful weekend. I hope everybody got to enjoy it. And last week was a long week. We finally got through all of the accolades and accommodations or awards and graduation. And so, did anybody else have graduations and stuff going on? So, congratulations to all the graduates and everybody that is moving to a new level. Congratulations to you. It has been a trying year, but you made it through. So kudos and hats off to all of those who survived. I am very grateful that we made it through. So I know everybody else is as well. Today on Monday Mindfulness, I had a guest who talked about centered prayer, and it was really good and enlightening. We talked about how to focus and center your time in prayer with God and just being able to be silent and in peace with God and being able to just be in tune and have that special time to give yourself to the Lord. And so if you don't know how to do that, there is someone that can help you. His name is Rich Lewis, and he is at silenceteachers.com. And he also offers a ebook that can help you learn how to center on prayer. Hello and welcome to Monday Night Mindfulness. Thank you for joining me. Tonight we are going to be focusing on how to center in prayer. And I wrote a meditation. It's called Walking in Love. It's 3 scriptures that you can meditate and just find peace. And you can walk and meditate on this, or you can find a quiet spot to meditate. And it can take you about 10 minutes or less, just depending on what it is that you have time to do. But there's some scriptures that I picked out that goes along with it. And this one is actually about showing love and kindness and humility, how to show mercy, and how to communicate when you're speaking with others. And one of the part of communication is that time of communicating with God and having that quiet, alone time with Him and being in His presence. And so, if you don't know how to do that, the first thing I want to talk to you about is being still in the presence of the Lord. And so, as you relax and start to think about how you can do that, bring kindness, awareness to your thoughts, your heart, and your body. And then just think about how you can bring kind awareness to those places, how your belly, chest, and head feel when you reflect on the topic, and how the emotions that you can associate with these feelings. Then the positive or negative effects that any stories that you believe regarding the topic, and then the fact that many others are feeling the same way that you might be feeling, and then how you might feel an increased awareness around the topic, and how you can apply increased mindfulness to this topic in your day-to-day life. We are addicted to movement. We get uncomfortable when our minds are asked to stand still, to do nothing, to wait, to listen, to rest. How many can relate to that? We just want to go constantly. We feel like if we're not in constant movement, then we're not doing anything. And sometimes it's okay to not do anything. Sometimes we need to not do anything. Sometimes we need to just relax and just settle. Because often, if we don't, our body will settle for us. Mindfulness and meditation help us notice how much we habitually chase distractions and help teach us how to get more comfortable with stillness. The problem with distraction is that it takes away from the present moment, the only place in which it's possible to experience true happiness and contentment. When we're always chasing things, happiness is always somewhere out there, away from where we are. When we're present, quiet, and still, we often find ourselves open to possibilities of recognizing that we are at a pretty good place. It's in the stillness that we're able to see the true nature of our minds, and we're able to recognize the true nature as one of contentment and joy. We can work with mindfulness of stillness both on and off our meditation cushions. Below, I'm going to go over an exercise that will help calm the mind in meditation and another way to try as you go about your day. So you can practice this anywhere, and then only this one can take 3 to 5 or 7 minutes. So this one is just teaching you how to be still. The other one is just a meditation that you can meditate on the scriptures. So the first thing you want to do is take a comfortable seat in the most quiet place you can find, away from distractions, and set your timer or a watch or your phone or whatever you can for 3, 5, or 7 minutes. Close your eyes and draw your attention to your breath. Give yourself permission to rest, to do nothing, to simply be still. And when I was speaking with Rich earlier today, he said to center on prayer, what you want to do is draw your attention to a sacred word, something that is in relation to God, something that can draw you nearer to Him. So focus on a word that will draw you closer to being in relation to God. Hey, Auntie, how you doing? And so if you can center on that word, or maybe you might even center on a visualization of yourself being in the presence or oneness of God, and just focus on that. Or maybe it might be a sound that you can relate to that just keeps you embodied and grounded in the mind of God. And so close your eyes and then draw your attention to that. Give yourself permission to rest, to do nothing, but to simply be still. Then rest in the presence of your breath and body awareness. Each time you notice the doing of future thinking or the doing of rumination of the past, bring yourself back to that word, to your breath, or to that visualization. Just bring yourself back to that. But then Rich said today in our mindfulness talk that you want to let those things go. Give yourself permission to just allow yourself to let it go, to be free in that present moment. And then remind yourself that you have permission to let it go, and just stay present and rest. So your mind relax back into the freedom of spaciousness, and let your mind take a break and rest in a sense of ease. It's not very easy to do when you start off. So I wouldn't recommend that you try to jump off into doing it for 20 or 30 minutes. Try for 1 minute, and then try for 3 minutes, and then try for 5 minutes, then 7 minutes. But allow yourself to continue to gradually up the time. So set your timer for a minute and then move up slowly. A mindful task that you can do is only one thing at a time to avoid multitasking. So I know we think that it's cool to be able to multitask and to do so many things at one time. Yeah, building up makes sense, because when we try to continue to add on things, we can overwhelm ourselves. And it's the same thing with with multitasking. If we can just slowly just do one thing at a time, because we feel like the more we can add on, the more we get done. But sometimes we add on more and we get nothing done. The less you do, the more you can get done. Trust me, it works. Notice how often during your day you get the opportunity to do nothing. A lot of times it's normally never. But just see if you can start eliminating things that you add. So instead of adding things, start eliminating things. Can you take advantage of these moments to do less? Notice when you fill space with mindless or busy activity. Sometimes we are wheels in motion, moving fast and going nowhere. Notice when you fill that space in your mind by thinking. You don't always have to be thinking. Sometimes just take the hat off. Let it go. You don't, who said you have to be in charge? Who said you have to figure it out? Who said you have to have the answer? You don't. Nobody put you in charge. See, we have this awful way of thinking that we have to do something. Sometimes doing nothing is okay. How often outside of formal meditation do you just sit and notice and listen? See, this is another thing. We don't have to listen to respond. We don't have to listen to react. Sometimes we can just listen, just hear what's being said, just listen to be supportive, just listen to be present, just listen to be there. That's more than enough than you can do. And sometimes we're listening, but we're not really hearing what's being said. So think about it. The next time you are in a conversation or you are in a situation, honestly, take the time to be present in that communication, in that conversation, and just listen. And then not only that, but repeat back what you heard to make sure you actually are hearing what's being said. Don't try to solve a problem. Don't try to fix the situation, but understand what it is. Listen to learn. So when you get an opportunity, journal and then figure out what it is that you have noticed about what you've learned over taking the time to be still. Describe your general experience with the meditation that you've done. Describe your general experience with the mindfulness activities that you have been learning. Do you think you have trouble staying still? I know I did when I first started. It was hard for me to stay still for any amount of time. Now I can just easily take some deep breaths and just let my mind just go free and relax. And sometimes my mom's like, "Are you asleep?" No, I'm not asleep. I'm just relaxed in my mind. I know everything, I can hear everything that's going on around me, but I can also tune it out when I need to. But I can hear what's going on. But that doesn't mean I have to be engaged with what's going on. I have to take a mental break. Everybody has to take a mental break before you have a mental breakdown. Do you think he have trouble staying still? If so, practice, 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 practice. Everything we do takes time and practice. Are you uncomfortable with quiet? Some people cannot stand for things to be quiet. It always has to be busy, it always has to be noisy, it always has to be a distraction. And that's a way to keep yourself from thinking of things that get you nervous or upset. But sometimes when you take away the noise and the busyness and the distraction, sometimes that's when you can relieve yourself of all of that tension and the stress and anxiety. Sometimes the silence can help you to be free. Because when you hear all that noise, you think you're drowning things out. But truthfully, when you hear that silence, that's the time when God is able to get in and speak to you. You can hear Him. And see, sometimes you might not want to hear that, but you need to hear it. And so learn to be still. Learn to be still and know that He's God, that He can do those things that you need done. Because if you continue to keep spinning like wheels in motion and going nowhere, you're just going to be spin out. But if you take time and you be still and you spend that time in the presence of the Lord, when you get done, I'm telling you, He will make you feel better and you can go on about your way. And all your troubles, I'm not saying that they'll be gone, but your burden will be a little bit more lighter. Now, how attached are you to background noise? I just spoke about that. You're attached to it because it's like you can't function without something going on. But start practicing to turn your television off and see how you feel without hearing that noise. It might be a little crazy at first to not hear noise going on, but when you start hearing silence, it's a new world to just be able to just hear silence and peace and joy and tranquility. See, we're so used to chaos and drama, we don't know what peace and tranquility look like. You owe it to yourself to find that peace and tranquility. Take some time and find it. It's comfort and joy in that place. How often do you speak just to feel silence? Okay, so say you're with someone that you love or you like, or you're just having a conversation with, or you might be even just riding in the car. You don't have to have a conversation. You don't have to be talking. You don't have to be filling up space. Sometimes you can just have silence. It doesn't mean that something's wrong. It doesn't mean that you're bothered. It doesn't mean that you're mad or that you're angry. It just means that you're just in a peaceful place. And that's okay. You don't always have to be filling up space. Sometimes we can just let it ruminate and just rest in that peace. Enjoy the silence. How often do you pick up your phone or check your email or open a new browser tab just for something to do? Why do we have to have something to do? Why are we creatures of habit? Because we feel like if we're not doing something, we're wasting time. But time is all we have. We're not wasting anything if we're not doing anything that's productive. And so if you are just picking up your phone, if you're just checking the email, if you're just opening a browser tab, spend some quiet time with the Lord. See what He has to say about the matter. Why do you think it's important to rest? Because our bodies need rest. Our minds need rest. We are overworked and we need to slow down and we need to take ourselves back for a moment. going, going, going. We wonder why we get sick. We wonder why we get headaches. We wonder why we get stressed out, why we get anxiety, why we get depressed, because we don't take time out. When kids do crazy stuff, you sit them down and you tell them to take a time out. Who controls us as adults? Us. We have to control ourselves. We have to learn how to be able to take a time out when we're doing too much. We have to learn how to take a step back and say, okay, I need to rest. Whatever is going to be done is going to be done. Whatever needs done is going to get done, with or without you. But if you don't get rest and if you don't take care of yourself, things are going to keep on going and you're not. So you got to take care of yourself and get some rest. Why do you think it's important to spend time doing nothing and being still? Because sometimes you just need to be still. Why do we tell kids to stop moving and to be still? Because you got to learn self control sometimes. And if we're always moving around out of control, we can't handle everything. So we've got to learn how to be still so we can be able to take on things when they come our way. In moments of quiet or in meditation, what do you learn about your mind? Well, if you don't ever take time to slow down and be quiet and be still, you can't learn anything about your mind. You've got to know yourself. You got to know how much you can do, how far you can go. But if you don't ever pull back and if you don't ever slow down, then you can't ever be one within yourself. And you can't make time for God. And you can't listen to what He has to say. And you definitely can't know what it is and the plans that He has for your life because you're too busy trying to figure it all out. But if you take the time to sit down and let Him have a word with you, then you know He's already ordered your footsteps and you don't have to worry about all of that busy stuff. He'll give you all the time you need. In meditation, where are you able to reach a sense of complete relaxation? And what do you feel like? These are things that you need to contemplate on when you are meditating and being mindful. And people say they don't have time. But what do you have time for? Whatever's important for you is what you have time for. So are you not important enough to make time for yourself? You are the most important thing in your life. And so you have to be intentional and you have to decide to spend time with yourself in stillness and less time being mindless, chasing movement and chasing things that aren't important. The one thing that you should be chasing is more time with the Lord because He will give you freedom, He will give you peace, He will give you joy and satisfaction. And if you don't know and you don't understand, He'll give you that too, wisdom and knowledge and understanding. But most of all, He will give you the peace that you're looking for. So, the meditation that I wrote is called Walking in Love. It's 3 scriptures to meditate on to walk in love. It's like I said, it's like a 10-minute meditation. And there is a little quote that says, if suddenly and unexpectedly you feel joy, don't hesitate, give into it. That's by Mary Oliver. And this meditation says, what ways can you show justice, loving kindness, and humility? To begin, take a deep breath, inhaling fully and exhaling deeply. And focus on this verse as you think of ways to show justice, loving kindness, and humility. Comes from Micah 6:8. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God? Just meditate on that for just a few seconds, breathing in fully and exhaling deeply. Now, what ways can you show mercy? Allow yourself to be free of any thoughts and think of the last conversation you had that did not go well. And as you do, focus on this verse and think of ways you might be able to avoid confrontational conversations. From Matthew 5:7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Breathing in fully, exhaling deeply, think of ways that you can show mercy. And when speaking or communicating with others, how may you be wise? Focus now on a time when you felt you were not shown mercy. How did it make you feel? Breathing in on the first part of this verse and out on the second part. Release whatever it was you felt and just let it go. And you are so blessed to let it go. The wise in heart will be called understanding, and sweet speech increases persuasiveness and learning in both speaker and listener. That's Proverbs 16:21. The wise in heart will be called understanding, and sweet speech increases persuasiveness and learning in both speaker and listener. So you don't always have to be the speaker. Sometimes it's nice to just be the listener. You don't have to speak to get a rise out of someone, and you don't have to listen to respond. And when you're ready, take 3 deep breaths, inhaling fully and exhaling deeply, and open your eyes and come back into reality and congratulate yourself on going through this meditation and doing something for yourself. To know how to walk in love and to have peace and just to meditate on the word and to find a time that you can be centered and focused on prayer with the Lord so that He can order your footsteps. And it's not hard to do. Prayer changes things, it really does. It may not change the circumstance or the situation, but it can change you. It can change your heart from being stone to being flesh. It can change your mind from being tormented to being more open and kind. It can change you from being cold to being more loving and more warm. It can make you have a more joyful, peaceful heart. And the more we do it, the more we can notice that the world around us will start to change because of the way we view it. And so we've got to understand that things aren't always what we want them to be, but things are what we make them to be. And so let's find peace and harmony and starting our day in prayer, in worship, in honor and in truth, in spirit and in truth, and giving praise to God for what He has done, for waking us up, for giving us the breath of life, for showing us the way out of no way. Because He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to put us here, but He did. And He put us here so that He can get the glory. So let's give it to Him. So on this day, what are you going to do to show that you are grateful? All you have to do is go to the Lord and spend some time with Him. And that shows your gratitude. Nobody has to know but Him. It's your relationship with the Lord, and it's your right relationship with Him. So that is my Monday night mindfulness for today, this evening. I hope you were able to get in on this meditation and find something in it that helps you out. If you would like the script or anything relating to this meditation on tonight, or if you'd like to know more about how to pray, or if you would like someone to pray with you or an accountability partner, you can always reach out to me, Tanika L. Steens at yourfullmindlife.com. Hit me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever else, Twitter. I don't know. Got a lot of social media out there, but I ain't too hard to find. So I'm out here. If you need somebody to be there for you or to be an accountability partner, I'm here. So don't say that you don't know where to go. I'm here for you. Hey, stars, nice to see you. Thank you for watching. But there are people out there that are Bible believers that love the Lord, that want to show other people the way, and not just to want to preach to you or to throw Jesus down your throat, because that ain't what Jesus wants. He don't want to force himself on nobody. He just wants you to know the truth and the way. And it's on you to take the path. So the door is wide open, and it's up to you to take that journey. But you don't have to go on the journey alone, because there's people out here that'll hold your hand and walk with you. And I'm one of them people. And so anytime you need a friend, call on Jesus first, because He's always on the main line. So just call Him up and tell Him what you want. He may not be right there when you call Him, but He's always right on time. Trust me, He really is. But other than that, if you need somebody to pray with you, pray for you, pray over you, or just to say a word of encouragement, I can do that for you. I'm here. So again, Tanika Steens, Your Full Mind Life.com or Mind Your Business. I'm here on Mondays for Mindful Mondays or Monday Mindfulness at 7 p.m. and at 10:35 p.m. I come back with a meditation. And then tomorrow I have a guest that will be talking about some business matters and some things to help women in business. And then on Wednesday, I'll do my mindful journey again. I'm tired, y'all, because I done had a heck of a week. I had a 12th grader graduation. She's got a full ride to Valparaiso. We got to go this weekend coming up to get her registered for her focus day. And then she moves in August. I'm so excited because it's been a long week, but we had a birthday, had a girl turn 14 in my household. So I got 3 teenagers and a 7-year-old. I got 2 high schoolers and a college student, and I got a first grader. I'm telling you, it's been full over here. I don't even know, but apparently God trusts something going over in this household. So I must be doing something right. So thank you, Jesus, for trusting me. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie. I love you. But I'm telling you, so, and it's not just busy work, it's doing what God has called me to do. And so I'm going to keep on doing it. And whatever He's called you to do it. And sometimes we get tired, but we got to keep on pressing for the mark because we're going to persevere and we're going to win this race because at the end of it, we want God to get the glory. So praise the Lord. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go because I got some homework to do now because I'm graduating in September. I'm about to get a bachelor's degree and I'm about to get ordained and become a deacon. God is good. And then, Lord willing, He gonna give us a church somewhere out here. I don't know where, God, but wherever He see fit to put us, we're gonna go. Wherever He sends us, we're gonna go. So keep praying for us, keep lifting us up in your prayer, and just help us to continue to be the people that God called us to be because we need prayer. Just as much as we get prayer, we need prayer. And we ain't perfect. We make mistakes. We fall down, but we gonna continue to get up. And if you push us down, we gonna get right back up. And if we get rolled over, we gonna roll over and get right back up. But anyways, God bless you. And remember, you were created with a purpose. So go ahead and be great. Love you. Tell my grandma and grandpa I said hello. I love them and I'll talk to them soon. See you all. Have a good night.